All right. Not a lot of time. Spreaker cut down my time, so I got to keep this short. UFC 205, New York City this week. Tonight is Wednesday night. 2 days away from the big show. And I'm going to do my predictions for UFC 205 this weekend in Madison Square Garden, New York City. For a card that's in New York, first card in New York, it was really meant to be a heavy New York card, but a lot of stuff happened. If you guys haven't heard, Tim Kennedy, Rashad Evans got scratched. Evans was a New Yorker that was on the card. An issue with his medicals, something didn't fall through, and so they're off the card. But still, the entire card is great, and you just have to check it out. So again, not a lot of time. I'm just going to try to get through the card, give you my picks really quick. You can follow my coverage this weekend. I'll be at the weigh-ins Fridays, 6 p.m., the televised ones anyway, because they do them early in the morning now. Follow me on Twitter at Carbasil. This is a Carbasil MMA podcast for UFC 205. So here are my predictions. So again, I said the card is very Jersey heavy, and I'm from Jersey. We love MMA here in Jersey. We had a hand in creating the unified rules for mixed martial arts, and if you just look at the history, a lot of New York fighters had to come to Jersey to fight. So the importance of being able to fight in Madison Square Garden and just how much it matters for MMA, it can make a whole other podcast. And I know I've talked about it in the past. I've written about it. If you want to read about it from my coverage, go over to page2sports.com and just search UFC, or rather mixed martial arts in New York, and a lot of stuff will come up with starting from Sheldon Silver's arrests and the ban and the lobbying and everything that went up until the ban got lifted when I moved over to editor at frontproofmedia.com. So, which you'll see a prediction piece by me and Evil Eddie on there for UFC 205, just the main card. But I'm going to just give you all my picks for the entire card. Again, the fighters from this area: Eddie Alvarez, Caitlin Chikugian, Jim Miller. I said Eddie Alvarez, Frankie Edgar, the Wonder Boys, Chris Weidman. All these people. Home field advantage, matters for them. It's been a long time coming for mixed martial arts competition in New York. So remember that they've been fighting to get the ban lifted before they even got there to fight their fights this weekend. So I don't see them rolling over for anybody at UFC 205 Madison Square Garden this Saturday night. So let's look at the first fight, what I like to call the pre-prelims, which are the Fight Pass prelims. First fight of the night, Liz Carmouche versus Caitlin Chikugian. Caitlin's out of Hoboken. She's 8-0, undefeated. And Liz Carmouche is probably going to be the toughest girl she's ever fought. If you remember, when UFC started their bantamweight division, Carmouche was the first opponent of Ronda Rousey, and she didn't go down easy. She actually took Rousey's back, cranked her neck. It was a really good fight, and she had a chance to be the bantamweight champion, the first bantamweight champion before Rousey was. So, obviously that didn't go her way that night, but this is definitely, she's a really tough striker, and so is Caitlin, so it's likely to be a stand-up battle. But again, Caitlin's undefeated, and they write a lot about her around here. She's a bartender in Hoboken that did this as a hobby, and now she's making a life out of it. So this is why MMA is just such a big deal here. I mean, the time is now for this sport. If you want to do anything in it, this is a great time to do it. So excuse me if I'm excited. I'm watching my time, but I'm also really excited for this weekend. It's going to be it's probably the best UFC card I've ever had the opportunity to be a part of and watch. So anyway, fight after that, main headline fight for the Fight Pass event, Jim Miller versus Thiago Alves. Miller's been coming back into it. He's been fighting on a lot of Fight Pass cards, and he's starting to go back to his roots, and he beat Gomi over when he fought at UFC 200, and I think he's just remembering his jiu-jitsu background. He's a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Again, another Jersey fighter fighting at the Garden. Thiago Alves is no slouch, but I don't think Miller's going to lay down for him either, unless he makes a mistake and gets caught like he has in the recent past. When he fought Gomi, it was just, everybody knows by now that Gomi's susceptible to chokes, and Miller knew that. He said that at 200 and choked him. So this is probably going to be a decision win for someone, but I'm leaning towards Miller just because, again, this fighting in New York just means a lot. So then we move on to the Fox Sports 1 prelims with Vicente Luque and Bilal Mohammed. And if you don't know about this, a couple weeks ago, Lyman Good, who was the original opponent for Bilal Mohammed, was removed for a potential doping violation flagged by USADA. And this potential nonsense is puzzling to me because, if it's potential, that's like saying maybe you did something wrong, but let's go ahead and punish you anyway. But I think I've talked about that before, so I'm not going to rant about that here with my limited time. So because of the late notice, again, a couple of weeks, he hasn't had the same camp as Bilal Muhammad, so I think Bilal Muhammad can pull off a decision win on that fight. And the card goes as follows: without the Evans and Kennedy fight removed, Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Michael Johnson. The Eagle has been trying to keep himself. He's been out of competition for a while, and he wants a shot at somebody. He wants a title shot, and Michael Johnson is in his way. I don't think he's going to for his comeback fight. He's probably going to grind out Michael Johnson. I hate to say it, that's just how I see it going. Just because he's a beast, Khabib. So that's for the Fight Pass. That's for the Fox Sports 1 prelims. That's a co-main event of that. And the main event for the prelims on Fox Sports 1 is New Jersey's Frankie Edgar versus Jeremy Stephens. Jeremy Stephens is the who the F is that guy that McGregor got a lot of laughs for. Frankie Edgar, he just wants to demolish somebody and get that featherweight title out of the way. He's been wanting it for a while. Jeremy Stephens got put in his way because of this nonsense that Conor McGregor's pretty much holding up his division. It's the truth. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of McGregor fans out there, but he is in trying to be a double division champion, not defending the one he has. Respect to David Branch in World Series of Fighting. He's defending both belts. He's done it all year. He'll be fighting in the Garden, and I'm definitely covering that in a deeper sense, not just with the one day like I am for this with the weigh-ins. So, come on, man, follow his example. Damn it. Another New Yorker fighting in New York. That's in December, end of the year. Anyway, sticking to this card, again, Frankie Edgar fought in the underground. Read Jim Genia's book, Raw Combat. I wrote a review on it on my website, theblogboardjungle.com. Go there and check that out. It's under books. It's probably the last book review I did. And just check out the review. There's a link there to buy the book. And in any Amazon purchase you make at theblogboardjungle.com, you help out this podcast and maybe make them a little longer since Spreaker cut down my time. Anyway, so Frankie Edgar, I see Frankie Edgar pulling off the win, especially since he lost to Aldo at 200, which was hard to watch, but it bees that way sometimes. So then the main card starts, a pay-per-view. Miesha Tate versus Raquel Pennington. I think all these fighters that lost at 200 are looking to come back. So just like Frankie Edgar's probably going to win on his prelim, kicking off the main card, Miesha Tate is probably looking to get over that loss and forget about it so they can move forward and get themselves back in the title picture. So I think her and Frankie are on the same path here, coming off at 200 and then coming to 205, staying active, staying busy, trying to win. So, looking forward to that one. And then Chris Weidman versus Yoel Romero. First of all, no MMA fighter fought as hard as Chris Weidman did to get the ban on mixed martial arts lifted in New York. I mean, he sent out emails, he went to Albany, wore his suit, went on TV stations, newspaper interviews. He did a lot here in New York, in the New York area, to get the ban lifted and get himself on this card. So, and then he did in an interview today, the media day, he said if he beats Yoel Romero, he's back in the title picture. He gets a title shot. So knowing that, everything I just said, I don't see him losing against Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero is somebody that can get knocked out with the whole Stoolgate thing with Tim Kennedy, who was supposed to be on the card, but that's it. You guys, I'm sure, know about that by now. Chris Weidman, the ambassador for mixed martial arts in New York, will not lose in Madison Square Garden Saturday night. In fact, I think he's going to, not only do I think he's going to win, I think he's going to win in a dominant fashion by a TKO stoppage with his wrestling and his power and just get himself back in the title picture. And then the fight after that is Donald Cerrone versus Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin Gastelum's a strong dude. He has trouble making weight. I'm hoping he doesn't have trouble for this weekend's event. So if Cerrone can keep him at distance, given his striking ability, I think he can pick shots off at Gastelum and win that way. But if Gastelum imposes his strength and his pressure on him and makes weight, that's a fight right there. That's a hard one to call. I think Gastelum has the power to hurt Cerrone, or at least control him and win by decision. If not, then if Cerrone can play the distance and use his superior striking, then he can beat Gastelum like that. So that's a tough one to call. I'd say 50-50 to either guy. Then we got a title fight. Joanna Champion versus Karolina. Both these women with their difficult last names from Poland. Karolina's she's good looking, nice fighter. She won against Rose Namajunas over the summer. She won a decision, but Joanna is not somebody that loses to people that win by decision. So I think she's going to be 13-0, hold on to her strawweight title, and still be champion. She's just vicious woman. Then again, Tyrone Woodley and Stephen Thompson, the other New Yorker on the card. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson fighting Tyrone Woodley for the welterweight title, co-main event. And Woodley's a wrestler. He's very strong and very powerful, but Wonderboy has done well against wrestlers. You look at his fight at Johnny Hendricks and against Robbie Lawler, he's not really a wrestler, but still a brawler. And he's able to do his karate kicks and awkward strikes to throw them off their game. And I think he can do that to Tyrone Woodley. However, if Tyrone Woodley gets in and pressures him, same as like I said with Gastelum against Cerrone, I think he can hold on to his title if he does that. However, if he lets Woodley play his karate game on him, he could stand to lose the belt on Saturday night. And then we have the main event. Main event time. Eddie Alvarez versus Conor McGregor. Oh boy. I don't think Conor McGregor can handle the animal that Eddie Alvarez is. The wrestling hole in Conor's game has been exposed far too often with Chad Mendes, with Nate Diaz. So I don't see him being that much improved against Eddie Alvarez. He's not taking that 155 title from Alvarez. And I'm saying Alvarez holds his title, McGregor stays featherweight, and all that nonsense is said and done. UFC 205. Those are my picks. You guys enjoy. Hopefully I'm right. Comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Peace.